The night they stormed through my front gate, I was already expecting them. Their voices, angry, frantic, cut through the music like knives. My sister's shrill tone, my mother's heavy breathing, my father's furious bark. They had come to crash my celebration, the party I hadn't invited them to. And as they pushed through my guests, demanding answers, I simply smiled. Because this time, for the first time in years, I wasn't the outsider anymore. They were. It wasn't always like this. There was a time I thought I belonged, a time I thought family meant unconditional love. I carried that belief like a shield, even when they chipped away at it, even when their laughter always seemed to have me as the punchline. I excused their cruelty. I told myself it was teasing, that it would pass. But the cracks widened with every holiday, every dinner where they forgot to invite me. And then came Mother's Day. I had saved up to buy flowers, nothing extravagant, but beautiful. I stood outside with them, heart pounding, waiting to surprise her. I saw them inside through the window, the table set, the candles lit. I waited for someone to open the door. No one did. They walked past me, glanced at me standing there with the bouquet, and closed the curtains. That was the day I realized I wasn't family. Not to them. I was a shadow, an embarrassment they preferred hidden. It would have broken me. It almost did. But pain has a strange alchemy. It hardens, it sharpens, and in silence, I began to plan. I worked tirelessly. While they whispered about how I'd never make it, I built my career. While they excluded me from birthdays, weddings, vacations, I built my savings. Every rejection became fuel. Every slammed door became another brick in the house I would one day own. Literally. Because while they thought I was barely surviving, I was calculating. I bought a house, a large one, modern, elegant, with a wide open lawn and tall glass windows, the kind of place you throw parties in. And I made sure word spread, not to them, to everyone else. Old neighbors, distant relatives, childhood friends, even their friends. The invitations were clear. This was a celebration of a new chapter, my chapter. The night of the party, the house glowed. Music filled every corner. People who hadn't seen me in years toasted to me, laughed with me, congratulated me. Their glasses clinked, their voices rose, and I could feel it, the shift. The narrative they had built, that I was the failure, the outcast, was dissolving before their very eyes. And that's when they arrived, uninvited. They barged in like they still had the authority to claim me. My sister's face twisted with rage, my father's jaw tight with fury, my mother trembling with a cocktail of anger and humiliation. "How dare you embarrass us like this?" my sister spat, loud enough for the music to pause, for eyes to turn. I looked at her, at them, my so-called family, and I let the silence hang, thick and heavy, until every guest leaned in, waiting. "You're mistaken," I said finally, voice calm, steady. "I didn't embarrass you. You did that to yourselves years ago." Their eyes flickered, shock, confusion, anger. I stood taller. "You shut me out. On holidays, on birthdays, on Mother's Day, you left me outside with flowers in my hands while you laughed at the table. You made sure I knew I wasn't family. Tonight, I'm simply honoring that truth. I built this without you, and I'll keep building without you." The room went still. Guests stared, wide-eyed. My mother's lips parted, but no words came. My father clenched his fists. My sister's smirk faltered. I leaned in, lowering my voice just enough to twist the knife. "So when you see this house, these people, this life, know that every brick, every light, every moment is proof that I never needed you. Not then, not now, Not ever. The silence was suffocating. My guests shifted uncomfortably, some whispering. My family froze, trapped between fury and humiliation. And then, one by one, my guests began clapping. A ripple at first, then louder, stronger, until the room roared with applause. My family's faces drained of color. My father grabbed my mother's arm. My sister turned away, teeth clenched. And just like that, without another word, they left. Stormed out the way they stormed in. But this time, the door closed behind them. Permanently. I didn't chase them. I didn't apologize. I simply raised my glass and let the celebration continue. Because the truth was simple. I had spent years begging for a seat at their table. Years hoping for scraps of acceptance. But I had my own table now, and it was full. Later that night, when the music softened and the guests thinned out, I stood by the window and watched the shadows of the trees stretch across the lawn. For the first time in years, I felt free. Revenge doesn't always require fire or fury. Sometimes it's as simple as showing the world what they tried